Fruit flies destroy fruit in the orchard, but also after harvest, at the collection center, and even in the market. Fruit flies deposit their eggs in fruit whenever they have a chance, and then the fruit starts to rot. While most fruit growers face great losses due to fruit flies, farmers aiming at export cannot allow a single fruit fly to enter the fruit that they sell. Buyers in Europe and the United States of America will destroy an entire container of fruit if a single fruit fly is detected. The exporter will not get his money and even has to pay a heavy fine on top of that.
You need to be absolutely sure, if you are an exporter, your fruits are free of fruit flies. The only solution is to combine all forms of trapping.
In this video, we'll look at different types of pheromone traps and ways to hang them in your orchard. Pheromones are chemicals that attract male flies only. Pheromones smell like female fruit flies, which attracts male fruit flies from a distance of 100 meters or more. The most damaging fruit fly in mangoes is attracted by the smell of a pheromone called methyl eugenol. Pheromones attract and help to kill the males, so they cannot mate with the females. And without mating, female fruit flies will not be able to lay eggs. To attract and kill the male flies with pheromones, you need to use traps to protect the products from the rain. Certain traps are sold in the shop, but you can also make your own traps. Mr. Bassam, who exports mangoes from Ghana, made his traps from transparent plastic jars used to pack peanut butter. At each of the four sides of the jar, make a small opening so the wind can carry the smell and the fruit flies can enter. Puncture the bottom of the jar so that no rainwater will collect in it. Put a string through the lid to hang the trap in the tree. In the jar, a pheromone block is attached to the other end of the string. Pheromone blocks from pressed wood fiber contain a mix of pheromone and insecticide. Because the blocks are pressed, they keep the products for a long time, so they need replacing only once a year. You just have to put the pheromones in the containers and hang them on the trees, so that at the time that the fruit flies come to your fruits, they're rather attracted into the containers by the scent of the pheromone. Putting in the pheromones is not difficult at all. Once done, the traps can last for 6 months, but this particular one can even last for a year. As an exporter, Mr. Bassam takes no risks and replaces the blocks every 6 months. There are various ways to hang traps in your orchard, but there are some simple rules. Always hang the trap under the shade of the tree canopy and at a height where you can easily see them. Regularly check the traps and keep them clean. To trap many male fruit flies, hang 10 to 40 traps per hectare. The more traps you hang, the better you will control the fruit flies. It's especially important that you place traps near your dumping site and all the boundaries of your orchard. By doing so, you're able to trap the fruit flies coming from outside your orchard, and you block them from entering your orchard.
Every third tree or so, I put a trap. And I tend to create a boundary along the perimeter of the farm, and then go in 3-4 lines and create another boundary within the farm.
Once a week, Mr. Bassam also sprays the hedge around his farm with a food bait, so that no male and female flies from neighbouring orchards will enter his orchard. Food baits are rich in proteins and sugar and are liked by all fruit flies. The brown liquid food is often mixed with some insecticides, so when the flies suck the food, they die from the poison.
It is not a costly venture, taking into consideration that if you have not controlled the fruit fly, you are going to end up with probably anything between 60 and 75% of your production lost.
You can also make another kind of trap from small plastic water bottles. Make 2 openings about 3 centimeters wide in the upper part of the bottle to allow the wind to carry away the odor and attract flies to the trap. Poke a hole in the cap so you can pass a wire through it. The wooden pheromone block is too large to pass through the bottleneck, so make a cotton wick to hold the pheromone. Make a small loop in the middle of a 1 meter long thread. Place the loop on the middle of a pressed piece of cotton and tightly wind each end of the thread around the cotton. The wick has to pass through the neck of the bottle. It's now time to mix the pheromone called methyl eugenol with an insecticide.
The association buy the methyl eugenol from me because they want the methyl eugenol is cost, so they can't buy it individual. So they buy it and they sell to themselves to control the fruit flies at the same time.
To mix the pheromone with an insecticide, only use an insecticide that has no odor, or else it will reduce the effect of your attractant. Mix 4 volumes of pheromone with 1 volume of insecticide. For example, if you use 4 cups of pheromone, add 1 cup of insecticide. Fix the loop of the cotton wick to the wire and soak it in the mixture. Press the wick to remove any excess product so that it does not drip. Make sure not to touch the product or to spill it. After inserting the wick into the bottle, close the bottle and tie the trap to a branch as high as your arm. Place the traps in the shade so that the sun does not break down the product. Jonathan hangs 1 trap for every 4 trees. The best time to start hanging your traps is a month after flowering, when the fruit is still small. After several weeks in the open air, these odors become weaker and must be replaced to keep attracting flies. Soak the wicks in a pheromone insecticide mix again once a month until the end of the harvest. In organic fruit production, pheromone traps that contain insecticides are not allowed. You can buy a special trap that you can use without insecticide. The trap has a cover with special openings that allow the pheromone smell to come out. But once a fruit fly enters through these small holes, it can't get out anymore. So what have we learned? Male fruit flies are attracted by the smell of female fruit flies. This odor is called a pheromone. By attracting and killing male fruit flies, they cannot mate with female fruit flies, so the females cannot lay eggs in your fruit. Make a trap by mixing 4 parts of pheromone with 1 part insecticide and dipping cotton into the mix. Use an insecticide with no odor. Place the pheromone in traps in the shade of your trees to protect the product from rain and sunlight. Hang 10 to 40 traps per hectare. Clean the traps and replace the pheromone when needed. Combine pheromone traps with other methods such as bait sprays for the best control of fruit flies.
If you do not control your fruit fly to the maximum possible that you can, then you are going to go bankrupt. Simple as that.